when I've been in states of overwhelm, just trying to cope with life, it's like I've only had capacity for me not to also be holding, other people. But I had a massive shift with that, like at the start of this mentorship. Um, and I guess part of it was just such a like growing awareness of that and really able to meet myself finally in that space of loving myself and showing up as me.
Imagine discovering a pathway that cuts through the noise of trying to heal, to instead offer you a clear, revolutionary initiation into your most connected, abundant, loved, and purpose-filled self. A place where your dreams transform into personal reality. I'm Allura Halliwell, founder of the Consciousness Method, and it's with deep gratitude that I connect with beautiful souls who have already experienced this transformative method firsthand. They'll share how it has profoundly changed their lives and led them into inner truth. Hello, Karen. Welcome to the Consciousness Method podcast.
Thank
I'm
you.
so honored to be here with you. Oh my goodness, we've worked together for a period of time now. You might have to remind me of how long, but it's been a little while.
It's been, yeah, I think maybe 3 years on, yeah, probably 3 years on and off. Yeah.
Yeah, what you're one of my legendary clients that just keeps evolving and transforming and coming back for the next layer. So I'm excited to chat with you today about those layers and the journey. And I suppose the most recent part of your journey, because I've really witnessed you in the last 6 months take this incredible leap of consciousness and nervous system shift that's been so profound to witness. And I wonder if we can just start there, just to share a little bit about that.
Yeah. So it's probably been what feels like maybe 4 months that, yeah, things have really, I think it's just been a process of all the pieces have started to fall into place and my understanding of this work because it's so deep that it takes a while for it to kind of sink in and then it kind of keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So I think part of that was this round of I did the my first mentorship a few years ago, and then this round, I think you knew and I knew that I was ready for a bigger shift this time. Like I'd really gone into prior to that into some really dark places and kind of feel like I explored all those depths and was really ready to like step out of that. And you've really like you knew that and you just kind of went there with me and pulled me right out.
I love that. That's so true. Because when
Yeah.
we started, there was a lot of density and heaviness and I suppose looping for you. Do you want
Mhm.
to just share a little bit about what it was like for you and what it's been like for you, I suppose, until you've started to have some big shifts more recently?
Yeah. So I guess a couple of the big parts is that I have struggled with my mental health since I started high school. So when I was 12, um, depression, like really bad depression and anxiety, social anxiety. So, and just, yeah, just really struggled, not realizing it until I've done this work, but seeing now how much I struggled to navigate this world in so many ways. Was very influenced by everything around me, whether it be people, beliefs, really had no kind of idea of who I was and was very shaped by what was going on and trying to fit in and all those things. So, yeah, when I first got to you, my mental health was still, I was on medication for it, but it was still a struggle for me.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's been such a big journey. And let's just like touch in on the medication piece because that
Mhm.
was a big part of the journey.
Yeah.
Having the medication, being, coming off the medication, and then that process through which your brain reorientated, and then, coming into this next state of not being on any medication.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's been massive. So I went on antidepressants when I think I was about 22 and then um, was on them for maybe, what's that? Like 17 years or something. Most of my adult life was on antidepressants. So I came off them a couple of times, but couldn't cope and so quickly went back on them. So when I chose to come off them a couple of years ago, I was like, I've done all this inner work. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to be fine. And I was not fine. I absolutely fell apart and went into yeah, a couple of years of really dark depression, really some really scary spaces of not wanting to be alive and just not knowing how to navigate that. And like I was trying all sorts of things to try and support that process, but I was really quite stuck in there. Um, and also, I mean, on reflection, I feel like my personality type, like I had to explore all those dark places. I had to go to all those depths. But I guess another part of that journey that I realized this year was when I was diagnosed with autism this year, of though that medication wasn't just numbing out the depression, it was numbing out the fact that I feel everything at a really heightened state. And so coming off the medication, it was just like I didn't know what was going on for me. It was like sensory overload. I went from like a 10 to 1,000 in the space of a couple of months. And also in coming off the medication, like my rose-colored glasses of, family members and different things in my life came off. So suddenly I'm being bombarded with it's like my whole life was in review and my senses were like extremely heightened. And at times I just felt like I was being tortured. Like I would just spend days in bed crying, trying to cope with the amount of information and sensory input. Um, so that's been a couple of years. And then, just when I started working with you again recently, I had like a really clear intention. I moved house and I was like, this is a new beginning. And that having that new space and that clear intention, I think helped. And now it's been a few months and I can safely say like I'm not depressed anymore. I like getting up in the morning, which considering I've experienced like it's been a journey of, 3/4 of my life of either being depressed or on medication and things being suppressed is like, like massive. It's massive, the fact that I'm now okay without medication. Yeah.
Karen, I've got goosebumps. Wow.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's huge. Yeah, but being like obviously you holding me through all of this, like in the mentorship, the first one, this one, and then the one-on-ones in between, um, like being held through that space, just it's everything, right? Like something, some journeys you have to go on your own, and some bits you need to be held and you need to be held accountable, and to have someone who can just like laser beam focus, like boom, that's where you need to go, has been like profound. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the ultimate honor, Karen, to be honest. And I've witnessed you as you've gone through those spaces and as you've done the work because it's not easy work to do on yourself. We're turning the mirror towards us on applying the brightest level of light to ourself and not relying on any addictions or avoidances or external things to bring us from ourself. So I'm curious about that process because there's been quite a number of things where I've said to you, right, we're going to do this, and you're going to stretch beyond that threshold of where you think you're safe. And maybe you'll invite you to maybe bring up a couple of examples that you may have in your mind, but where you've gone and done something in reality that you felt like you weren't able to do. But from doing that, you've created more internal safety and you've almost collapsed a whole timeline of experiences that you've committed to doing that haven't necessarily been safe or aligned to you, but you've
Yeah.
just kept doing because it's what you knew.
Yeah.
So, are you able to share a couple of those or one of those?
Yeah. So I guess a big part lately has been working through some of my challenges with with the men in my life. So one space was that I had like a beautiful dad, a beautiful relationship, but I really kind of blocked him out when I was younger. When things got rough for me, it was some subconscious reaction to kind of block him out emotionally. And so one of those spaces recently was I invited him to come over. Like I still see him regularly, but it was just a different intention that I invited him over to have one-on-one time and just say to him, like, I blocked you out all these years ago and I miss our connection and I'd really want to change that. And and he was very like, I expected it to be this big emotional thing, but he was just so like, oh yeah, but I mean, he was a bit teary, but it was just, I think I'd blown it up to be bigger than it was, but it was just a beautiful reconnection and my capacity to meet him at a level of like, rather than me being the younger one, like actually taking a genuine interest in what was going on for him because he's been going through, some difficult changes in life and like holding space for that and just finding things in common. So that, yeah, that was a big shift, which felt really hard. I mean, it might seem like it's a really simple thing to reach out to someone who you see all the time, but it was connecting in a different way.
Mm.
So there's that piece. Also connecting with like my ex-husband, another ex-boyfriend, and just having the chance to kind of go through challenges from those. Um, my ex-husband and I separated 5 years ago, and we've got two children. And that there was challenges in that space, and since that, and we'd seen each other a bit more this year through the kids, and I had purposely reached out to him to, I guess, to hope that we could reconnect in a different way. And we were able to do that, which there was a lot of fear around that, and whether he was wanting to reconnect in that way. And we had a beautiful discussion, and I felt like I was able to like really genuinely honor the way that he was choosing to parent and also the way that I was, which is quite different because we're quite different people. Whereas in the past, I'd felt more like I needed to, like I wanted to let him sort of see my perspective, whereas I was able to just be like, the kids will get offered both. So like that's a massive, when you're co-parenting with someone to shift that and to reduce or break away from that fear has been a really massive, massive piece. And you knew, like, you just need to have this conversation. It's going to change everything. I'm like, how is one conversation going to change? You just knew, as always, that it was going to, I don't know how you do it. You just can see where I need to go with such confidence. And I keep questioning you every time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see because your consciousness shows me, and it's very clear where the fear pattern is running. So whenever I show you and you resist, which is natural, and that part of you goes, I don't want to go there, and then you go, and then witnessing you flourish and blossom as you go there is just the most divine gift to witness you in that because the reality opens. And I
Yeah.
remember one morning, when you were, I think it was actually, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the key points where you really shifted realities, where one morning you were in becoming, entering that cycle of those emotional addictions where you're feeling really flat, and then something happened that created a shift in that. Would you like to share that?
Is this when you told me to go to the beach? Everyone needs a therapist that tells them you need to go to the beach. So, one of the challenges I found when I came off my medication was complete state of overwhelm of being able to manage my time, and, with kids and managing house. And when I was working on and off, just like I would just spiral into overwhelm of how can I do life? Why is this so hard? Why is everyone else able to do all these things and why can't I? Because I just didn't understand my capacity, and what was going on. So I would get very overwhelmed by my to-do list on the daily basis to the point where it was like I would either be doing everything or just be in a state of nothing because it was too much. Um, and I was spiraling that morning and I messaged you and you could see that I needed to break that pattern because I was like, I need to do this, this, and this. And you're like, no, you need to break that. You need to go to the beach or do something you like, which the beach for me is like my heaven. So I went to the beach and then I still, got the groceries, picked up the kids. And that was like, it's funny how it sounds so simple and yet it was so profound. And no one else would see that. No one else, anyone else would have probably gone through my to-do list with me and gone, okay, let's reprioritize. But you're like, no, cut that, break that. And that, yeah, like my whole, the way that now I connect with what I need to do and my time capacity has stretched. I know I've still got sort of space to move with that, with my capacity, but um, my relationship with time and what I could do and the overwhelm has completely shifted. Where it's now I have days where I feel like I'm bending time, where I'm like, where like there's suddenly extra pockets of time, and then I do more things than I expect, whilst also doing some nice things for myself. And it's like time, is kind of coming out of nowhere. So that's that's been wild. Yeah.
Oh, Karen, it makes me so happy. Yeah, you're right, because it's hard. Like, that is the magic I feel that is in the consciousness where we drop all the programs, we drop all the musts, shoulds, have tos, and get really uniquely connected to what you actually really truly need within your being, within your connection to yourself. And then when we find that peace, it's like you get so safe. You feel so connected on another level that everything just shifts from that. The consciousness shifts everything. So I'm
Mm.
just so happy that you've had that in real time. And there's another space actually where I'd love you to share a little bit because I think people will feel this space as well, the disconnection from your kids when you've been in this emotional overwhelm, and how that's felt for you and the journey back to the connection with them.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I had this very idealistic view of how it was going to be having kids. And having kids it was hard for me. I think again, it's quite like overstimulating, like having kids for some like well being autistic, it's like they're on you and they're feeding and they're crying and it was quite a lot for me. Um, and then I guess when I started doing this inner work a few years ago, um, and when I went into these darker places, I was so disconnected from myself, um, that I couldn't connect with them. I
Mm,
thought, I mean, on the surface, it would probably look to anyone else like I was doing a normal, a fine job. But I knew that I didn't feel, um, the sort of connection that I knew was possible. And I have like a major unloved wound. That's been my sort of main wound I've worked with. And that stems from my childhood. And they kept triggering that. I
mm,
just kept seeing spaces all the time of they don't love me. If they were upset, if they wanted something, if, when they come out from school and I see other kids hug their parents and my kids, they don't like doing that in public, it would like multiple times a day that unloved wound was being triggered. Um, and I think the more it was triggered, the more I'd want to move away from it. And then also, yeah, when I've been in states of overwhelm, just trying to cope with life, it's like I've only had capacity for me not to also be holding. other people. But I had a massive shift with that, like at the start of this mentorship. Um, and I guess part of it was just such a like growing awareness of that and really able to meet myself finally in that space of loving myself and showing up as me. And the shift in them, like, it's just so wild. It just surprises me all the time of how much we seek out to try and get stuff. And then we do it within, and then suddenly it's all poured all over us from everyone around us. So, like, they hug me more. They're like, even just seeing the more I've opened up, the more relaxed and happy I am in myself has been reflected in them, especially in my eldest, who we've always seemed to really mirror each other. And he just is so much happier, more open, more expressive, more loving. And he used to really avoid me when I was crying or not okay. Whereas now, when I'm having days, I verbalize it more to them. I say, like, I'm feeling a bit sad today, or I've got my period, or something like that. And he'll come up and hug me and he'll ask me what's wrong. And it's like he can now hold space for me because he's probably feeling safer in himself in our relationship. Um, but not needing to kind of extract that from them. It's like I know that I like that relationship now is completely safe. Like that wound is not being triggered by them at all. Um, but yeah, I guess the beauty in that is just seeing the expansion in them. Because it like that, what I'm doing it like I've had to work on myself, but the gift that gives them that they can now be more free, like is incredible. Yeah.
Wow. That's something that I'm so passionate about,
Mm,
supporting parents to have that relationship with their kids
yeah.
and to have collapse the separation so the connection is there. And
Yeah.
it's so potent to see and feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I just think how much like we all carry so much of our own wounding that we then project onto them, having no idea without doing this kind of work. You just don't realize it. They trigger you, you take it out on them, you project your issues, and then they grow up with all the same stuff. And to be able to like, be the circuit breaker and offer them something different, like so powerful. Mm. Yeah.
Huge. Huge. Oh, wow, Karen. And I think it's so beautiful to witness that this work is ongoing, like the evolution is ongoing. Like you have shifted so many huge pieces, and I know that you're coming back next year to do more because it's just an ongoing evolution.
Mm.
But I just want to speak to that, that it's just such a powerful experience that you can shift so many pieces, but it takes some time and some awareness to get to all the pieces, I suppose. And I think we do the top levels and we get all these things set up and then we go the next piece. And I think for me, the beauty of the work is that the evolution is available to us and we can keep doing those things. But there's not kind of a point where we go, oh, we're perfectly healed and life's amazing and it's all done. It's like it doesn't end like that. So I
Mm.
just wanted to touch on that as well. I think to be realistic about what this work really is.
Yeah. I think that's really important because I think sometimes you can go into like this sort of healing work thinking you go, you do the work, you're fine, you get on with your life. And yeah, when you shift that perspective to like, this is evolutionary work, this is how we keep evolving and learning lessons as human beings, then like, what a beautiful thing that that's the way you look at life. It's not just you do something, you fix, then life's perfect, but it's like seeing life as an opportunity to like to continuously evolve. And um, I just love that lens of like, that's what we're here for. It
Mm.
makes so much sense to me. And I'm glad that I see life like that now, rather this kind of lower level of like just seeing everything as problems and like, why is life doing this to me? How many messages I've probably sent you over, over the years going, what is life doing to me? What does it want from me? And it's yeah, to be able to shift out of that. But I think the piece of like it takes time is important because if someone had said to if you had said to me, look, this is you're going to be working on this stuff, like you might not see some big shifts for a few years. I would have that would have been really hard to hear. Um, but it's all worth it because it is an ongoing process. And yeah, I mean it takes time to go into these places. And there's been times where I just couldn't see that there was any light at the end of the tunnel, which was really scary. So it's really good to be in this on the other side of that. But I guess it's partly like trusting yourself that you have to go to whatever depths you need to, and trusting your mentorship that you can really see, where you need to take someone.
Yeah.
And like, what's time anyway if you get these kind of results? Like, it's worth everything. You do it like longer if need be, if to get these kind of changes rather than just stay stuck. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I totally, I mean, I resonate so deeply with that. And also that moving, that consciousness moving, and not just for you, Karen, but I see it across the board for feeling like we're a victim to life because life is just bombarding us, and then shifting that to being a creator with our lives and
Mm,
having the inner tools to be able to create. It's
mm,
profound. And I've witnessed you, it's almost like you had this, because of the density and the suppression you came out of, right? Being blocked from feeling anything for 17 years
mm,
and having a couple of years of having to go through the darkest aspects, but also just the most revealing aspects of you by sitting in the depths of yourself and not turning away from that, which I honor you so deeply for. And then getting to this point where it's clicked, and now evolution and momentum and creation is just going to be like that. You've done so many of the big pieces that it speeds up, and it becomes less friction to getting there. Of course, always it takes time and energy and work to get it done, but the friction is less, and then you get more and more access, and it just becomes fun to evolve yourself and see the shifts and go, "Oh my God, my life is different again and again."
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can see that all over. So thank you so much for today. Is there anything finally you'd like to share with anyone that's considering this work that maybe is a parent or had some level of, depression or mental illness or anything, anything that's, that you've experienced that might be feeling lost in their experience? What would you say to them?
I think just really like, oh, it's going to make me emotional. Just like digging deep and trusting that that there's a way through, and not losing hope. Um, yeah, and especially I guess when it comes to parenting as well, like how, like just the gift of doing work on yourself, what that can then offer your children. Like the number of people that have said to me how much they've seen my children change. And I know you experience the same and others have experienced the same. Um, like it's such a, yeah, I mean, that's everything, right? All the things that we get caught up in as people, and like if you can change your children's lives, like what can be more important? Um, but also, I guess in terms of the mental health stuff, just seeing that this offers different pathways forward rather than, medication, or rather than, continuously going over and trying to, cognitively change things. Like, this just offers such a deeper, to get to the root of things. Um, because I saw so many people, so many therapists, and tried all the different breath work and all sorts of things. And this has been, the only thing that has been, absolutely life-changing in that. So I've often said to people, like, everyone needs an Allura in their pocket in their life. Just, yeah. Yeah. So absolutely, obviously recommend you and this work that you offer. It's profound. I'm so grateful. So grateful. Always so grateful I found you.
I'm so grateful I found you too. Being part of your journey is being the absolute best for me and witnessing you. And I saw you from the beginning. I saw the truth of who you are, and you are that woman. You've created the space to be you, and it's the biggest gift. So thank you so much, Karen. Thank you for your words and your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure to spend this time with you, and to say thank you, I'd like to share with you 3 beautiful meditations to explore your core wounding and a collection of masterclasses. You'll find these in your show notes. And if you feel the synergy to this path, know that it is available to you also.